Where did I store these Apple stocks? How much I made in profits from my crypto this year? I have no idea. Guys, I'm sure sometimes you're asking yourself some of those questions. These days, it's never been easier to buy stocks or crypto on the fly. There are hundreds of apps out there and it's so easy and tempting to buy them. And it's great to get started on investing. But the real question is, you want to track your investments. You want to see how you're doing over time, because the idea of investing is to grow your money over time. And therefore it's important to keep an eye on it and see how it's actually doing. Because I do believe not putting all your eggs into one basket. So I like the idea of having different brokers and exchanges where I store my money and buy my cryptos and stocks and ETFs from. But of course, I don't want to have to log in every day into these different platforms and check how they're all doing. But instead, I would like to have one dashboard, one report, one simple overview that shows me how my total portfolio is performing. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to show you the easiest way to track your entire portfolio for stocks, ETFs, and crypto. My name is Kai. Welcome back to the channel, guys. The saying is, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And that's why when I started off buying my first stocks, I started using Google Sheets, because there's some great templates out there that you can download free of charge, such as those ones from the Motley Fool, which is great. And basically you put your ticker prices in there, you put all the prices you bought it for, the cost price, the current price, and the rest, it kind of pulls it out from the various databases online and kind of gives you a summary overview of your stock performance. So that's a great starting point and I quite enjoyed it for a while, but in the end I did find it a little bit tedious. You have to remember to go back and update every time after you do a purchase, so it is a little bit cumbersome, especially once you start adding different asset classes, but there are much better ways. Another more sophisticated tool that really tracks your stocks in much more detail and gives you tax and dividends and all these breakdowns and reports is called Portfolio Performance. That's free and open source and you can download it for pretty much any platform out there. This is a great option if you want more details and a bit more customization, but I warn you, it is much more complex. It's quite difficult to get set up. It's not very user-friendly. It is definitely much more complex, and for me, I didn't really get into it too much. I know a lot of people love it. I just didn't find myself using it very much. Plus, they don't have a mobile app, and I like to see my stocks performance on the go wherever I am. So it is a great tool, but a bit complex, and they don't feature crypto. I want a solution that covers all my investments, and that's why I really don't recommend it for beginners as such. And lastly, of course, you can go into your individual apps and check the performance of each of them. But as I said to you, the more apps you have and the more diversified you are, the longer it takes you to really get a snapshot overview. So on Coinbase, for example, which is one of the most popular crypto exchanges out there, and the exchange I started with before I switched to crypto.com, and it's a great platform, don't get me wrong. But the problem I have with it is basically, as you can see from here, when I started off, obviously I had zero money in my account, but then every time I put money into it, the graph grew. So it shows like, wow, my money is going up. But that doesn't show you the real returns you made, because if I put another 10,000 euros in, it would just basically go up because I put money inside, but not because of the performance of the coins I bought. And there's no real analytics here that shows you how your performance is really doing over time and which of the investments you bought were better, and especially, let's say, compared to the market. So this is what I don't like about it, because it's really hard to track how you're performing. You just see kind of your overall portfolio going up and down. I don't think it's the best solution for you to really track individually every single broker and exchange out there, because A, it's going to take you more time, and B, it doesn't really give you the accurate picture, and C, you can't benchmark compared to, for example, things like the S&P 500, which is the market index, to see how you're doing relative to the market. And that's super important, because you want to see, am I doing good or bad? And that's why after looking around for quite a while, I found the best solution that I love very much, which works both on desktop and on my mobile phone, and that, you may be surprised, is Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance, obviously very popular. A lot of people use it to look up a stock, but not many people actually use it to build their portfolio. The great thing here is you can build your portfolio for stocks, ETF, and cryptocurrency. So it's very simple. You go on finance.yahoo.com, you create your account, which is free of charge. And once you have your account set up, you can start creating your own portfolio. So what you have to do, you pop over here to My Portfolio. And obviously the first time you set this up, you see nothing over there. But as you can see, I already imported my actual portfolio. So you see already my portfolio here. I really set it up in terms of my three main investment asset classes, which are cryptos, stocks, and ETFs. And as you can see, I love the simplicity of this. I can see in each of the asset class how much I made. I can see my overall performance since I started investing. I made around 6,500 euros. Sadly, in the last few days, with all the news out there, the stock market has been sliding off, and so did crypto. I was close to almost 20,000 gain, but that's fine. Again, I'm a long-term investor, so I have no issue with that. A 12% return for the year, which is still way better than if I had left my money in the bank and lose value to inflation. So basically, once you start logging into your portfolio, you may not have any portfolio watch list yet. So it's very simple. You just hit over here, create portfolio, you give it a name. So you could name it, for example, by asset class, whichever you want to invest in crypto or stocks as I do, or you can call it by your broker. So let's say some of the stocks you buy on interactive brokers, some on Revolut. So you could name your portfolio accordingly. So let's call it Revolut over here. I'm investing in US dollars, great, submit, and boom, it's right there. So all you have to do basically is start adding symbols to it, which is very simple. Let's start off by buying the most valuable company in the world, which is of course Apple. So you hit Apple over here, select the symbol, and then Apple is in your portfolio. But of course you need to add the lot. So when you add a lot, you're basically adding a position to that particular stock. So you do this whenever you buy or sell a stock. So let's click on add a lot. And here you really add the details of your purchases. So that's a great thing. You can go back into your broker and do this retrospectively, because I did this before myself. When I bought from various places, I went into the broker, checked when I bought, at what price, and just entered it. So I really have all my transactions in Yahoo Finance. So you can click basically anytime you bought a stock. Let's say I bought one last week. I bought one share of Apple. The price, as you can see over here, 171. Let's say I bought it a little bit cheaper at 168. So right away it calculates you when you bought it at a price to the current market value, and the delta is basically $3, which you already made in plus, which equates to 1.87%. And in the notes, I really like that, because here I can put my personal notes, for example, why I decided to buy it, or what I personally prefer, I actually write where I bought it, because I kind of cluster my stocks into the different asset classes, but I may buy them in different platforms. Some of them I buy on Revolut, some of them on interactive brokers. You may have even more brokers or exchanges out there. So let's say I bought it on Revolut, all right? And that's all. So now let's say if you do all your history of Apple transactions, you could add another lot. Let's say you bought another share of Apple sometime in July even, let's say 14th of July, you bought another 2 shares of Apple. And back then it was even cheaper. It was only $161, let's say. So you can right away see that you made $20. And in this case, I didn't buy it on Revolut, but on interactive brokers. So that keeps me organized. So whenever I go back and I see where my different stocks, I know when and where I bought it on which platform, which is great, because sometimes you can really get lost. And so if I collapse it over here, I see really my total. I see my total market value. I see my average cost and the total gains, and I can see I have some notes here. So it's very, very simple. And from here you can add another few tickers, so it's very, very simple. So basically you can see how simple it is to add any stock to your portfolio list. And just to show you the same that it works with cryptocurrency as well, I can go ahead and buy some, let's say Ethereum. Obviously you can choose if you buy it in US dollars or in euros. Let's say I bought it in US dollars. So it will pull it over here. I say add a lot. So this is where I'm going to buy my additional lot into it. And I bought some Ethereum. Let's say I bought 1 Ether, and the cost at the time was only $3,000. So as you can see, I would have made a very nice profit of $960 already if I would have bought 1 Ether back then. And I bought it on crypto.com. So just for my reference, I know where I bought it. I can go back and see the transaction and basically sell or not sell, but I know where it is, which is good, because again, I always say don't put all your eggs into one basket. Have different platforms and exchanges out there, because you never know what may happen to one individual one. But if you spread your risks across multiple ones, you're on the safer side. And that's really all there is to it. So if I take you, for example, into one of my portfolios, let's say stocks, you can see here the stocks I have in my portfolio at the moment. As you can see, not that many, only 6. And I really don't plan to add many more than that. Maximum 10, 12 I would say, because I really want to be on top of things. If I have 30 stocks, I don't know what's happening. I can't follow the news of all of those. So here you can see the total value of my stock portfolio. I can see how much I made on the total gain during the day. It went up nicely on the last day of trading. How much I made since I started investing. It sadly dropped, mostly because of my beloved Palantir, which keeps on dropping on me. But again, I'm a long-term investor, so I'm really not concerned about this, and I know that in the long term it's gonna come up definitely. You can see here the analyzed performance of your own portfolio versus the S&P 500 index, which is the 500 biggest companies in the US. So it's a good benchmark to compare yourself to those. That's a really nice snapshot overview of how your stocks and portfolio are doing. And then you can click here into the summary, and that gives you again a bit more details on how your stocks are doing, the day range, the 52-week range, the market cap, and the day chart. So you have once again a nice summary of how your overall portfolio is trending. And then you have portfolio news, which are news only geared towards the stocks you have in the portfolio. And also you can go over here into the settings and edit the currency in case you want to change it. Another cool thing is you can actually link your broker. So whenever you do a transaction, it basically pulls it from your broker directly, and you don't have to manually enter it into Yahoo Finance. Though this feature is only available in the US, so that's why I'm not using it. But if you live in the US, I think it's a no-brainer and really helps you to save some time. They also have a great feature of importing all your holdings. So a lot of brokers offer you the opportunity to export your holdings. So let's say you started investing since 5, 6, 7 years ago. It would take you days to import every single transaction you previously did. So you can go to your broker or exchange and export all your transactions and then upload it as a CSV file, like an Excel file that is basically exported from your other broker, and import it here, and then Yahoo Finance will basically import the data and create a portfolio specifically for that broker. So you don't have to manually do it, and will save you a lot of time. At the same time, I also love that Yahoo Finance gives you the option of exporting it, because who knows what the future will bring. Maybe in a few years there's a better tool out there and I want to move away from Yahoo Finance. I can simply click export all my portfolios and then import it into whatever other database or app and have my data seamlessly move around, which is great. And of course, you have all the great data analysis that comes with Yahoo Finance. Basically, I can click into any stock out here, let's say Airbnb, and it takes you to the page of the particular stock, and you really have a deep dive into all of those data, which you can see here. So it really gives you some great business insights as to whether you want to buy the stock or not, hold or sell. And yeah, I really love the page. It gives you a lot of different charts, statistics, just great data that are out there, but really it consolidates it nicely into one platform. And for me, it's more than enough to make my business decisions, especially considering it's free. I haven't really found a better solution out there. And especially since it allows me to track not only my stocks, but also my ETFs and my crypto. So I really have it all under one umbrella, which is amazing. As I said to you, they also have a great mobile app. And for me, that's very important because when I'm on the go, I still want to know what are my stocks and my cryptos doing. So I love that. And I'm going to show you how that works. I actually set it up as a widget. So whenever I slide over to the left, I have here all my widgets and you can see my holdings. So the same number you saw in my desktop, I have the same number over here. What is the total value of my holdings right now? So then I click into this, it opens up the Yahoo Finance app, and here you can see it mirrors exactly what I had on the website. So I can see here all my cryptos, stocks and ETFs. And once again, if I click into my stocks, I can see the same stocks here. I can edit them also on the fly. I can add lots the same as I did on the desktop. So whenever I bought something on the go, some crypto, I can edit it and add a lot to my crypto holdings. And it will be updated instantly and I can see the progress over time, which is just amazing. You can see here the upcoming earnings for some of the holdings I'm having. And again, the related news to my portfolios. It's just one of the nicest apps and desktop experience that really consolidates all my holdings into one, and it just makes things so simple and user-friendly. And you need to know what's happening with your portfolio to make smarter and more informed decisions, learn from your mistakes and improve for the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified about any future videos I release. Next up, check out the video over here. As always, I thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate every single one of you. I love hearing from you in the comments below. Stay blessed, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.